As the summer sea ice disappears off the coast of East Greenland, giant whales are moving into previously inaccessible waters. The entire Arctic ecosystem is undergoing a radical reorganization. For most of the past few centuries, drifting pack ice acted as a structural barrier along this coast. This ice was exported from the Arctic Ocean through the Fram Strait, sealing off the shelf. The density of this ice physically blocked large ocean mammals. Temperate whales cannot navigate through heavy pack ice because they require consistent access to open water to surface and breathe. This exclusion zone created a specialized sanctuary for Arctic natives like narwhals, walruses, and belugas, species that evolved to forage and hide within the ice. That cycle changed in the early 2000s. Warming temperatures led to a collapse in the sea ice drift, removing the physical obstruction that once protected the coast. The removal of that barrier left a historically isolated polar habitat exposed to the rest of the ocean's massive predators. The disappearing ice was accompanied by a 1 degree Celsius rise in sea surface temperatures. This warming altered the underwater environment, making it hospitable to species from further south. This major shift was accelerated by a specific prey species, the capelin. It is a small, oily fish that serves as a primary calorie source for whales and seabirds. As temperatures rose north of Iceland, capelin migrated to seek cooler water, redistributing northwest onto the newly opened Greenland shelf. This relocation of biomass created an irresistible draw. Baleen whales tracked the capelin, following their migration route into East Greenland waters. The retreating ice edge created a corridor into a massive surplus of energy, attracting animals that had previously been locked out of the region. Thousands of humpback, minke, and fin whales now visit the Greenland Sea every summer. Aerial surveys have logged sightings of over 150 humpbacks in a region where they were almost never seen before 2006. Researchers describe this takeover as borealization. It occurs when temperate, open water species expand their range northward and occupy Arctic territory. The scale of this movement has resulted in massive feeding events. Ship crews now report mixed aggregations of up to 50 giant whales gorging simultaneously in the same area. This consumption places immense pressure on the food web. Scientists estimate these whales now harvest over 1 million tons of fish and krill during a single summer residency. The East Greenland shelf now functions as a massive, high-stakes seasonal feeding ground for the ocean's largest whales. While the newcomers exploit these new waters, the original residents face a shrinking habitat. The species that rely on the presence of ice are losing the environment they need to survive. For native species like the walrus and the narwhal, the ice provides essential physical cover and platforms for resting. As the pack ice recedes, their refuge disappears. These natives now face a dual threat. They must compete with thousands of massive whales for forage fish, while their vulnerability in open water increases. The lost ice barrier has also allowed killer whales to enter the region. This deadly apex predator was historically blocked by dense ice, but they are now increasing in the Arctic at an estimated 2% every year. Native Arctic species are tracking a receding ice edge while sharing their historical territory with thousands of competitors and an efficient new predator. Researchers describe this transition as a regime shift, a reorganization of the food web from the bottom up. Ecological balances that held for centuries have shifted in just 20 years, driven by the collapse of the cryospheric barriers. The arrival of thousands of giant whales is a visible signal of global instability, showing how quickly a polar ecosystem can be restructured. As ocean temperatures rise, the geographical boundaries that once separated polar and temperate worlds are disappearing. When the ice falls, new kings claim the ocean.